I'll just start talking wrestling. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to NC17. My name is Josh. You know, the crazy J guy. But yeah, we were supposed to have a scheduled guest, but they haven't joined. So I don't know. I guess it's going to be a solo show today, or maybe someone else might just pop up. You don't know. But let's talk about some wrestling until whoever wants to join. I don't care. You know, uh, yeah. So yesterday, as everyone knows, Detroit Wrestling Connection. Before I go into wrestling, had an event in Memorial Park in Royal Oak. I was lucky enough to attend and meet some very, very, like wonderful people and stuff. And we had a great time, and that's just the first of many events. And Detroit Wrestling Connection has always been a supporter of Open Talk 313 The Flash, and it's also always been a supporter of NC17. So we're going to go back to our roots and talk wrestling for a little bit. You have, we have,
Yeah, I'm gonna just jump in, Josh, if you can. Yeah, it was a great event yesterday. Detroit Wrestling Connection, which is in the family tree of Open Talk Radio. I mean, Open Talk 313 The Flash and Tag Team Relief. They all are three different entities in one, so to speak. And Detroit Wrestling Connection, like Josh said, we hosted a community event for local businesses and just regular people from the public to come out and meet us, learn what we do, and learn what the other local businesses do. It was a great event. Even though the numbers weren't what we were hoped for, it was still a good event because those people that were there were the people that were meant to be there, and we had a good time. Any old way, it's a funny saying in church. If you got to preach to that one person just like you preach to the thousands, and
that's right.
my father always taught me that though. You gotta preach that if it's one person in the church, you gotta still preach like it's a thousand. But I'm turn things back over to you, Josh.
All right. Sorry, I was distracted there for a minute, but yeah. So here's my thing. Wrestling. Let's talk wrestling. Let's talk the bad, the good, the ugly, and then the just downright disrespect. You know, the good. Actually, you know what? We're gonna save the good for last.
Okay, Josh, I'm getting an email from Cindy English. I don't know how she got to me, but she said she sent a note on Facebook. She said, "Do you want GFM to call in?" Uh,
Yes.
okay.
Uh,
Well, it's probably best for them to hit the link instead. I'm gonna just send her the link if you want. I don't know if this is their manager or whatever. but,
yeah, it is.
okay. I don't know. Okay, she must have looked this up. But, yeah. Let me pause my.
Give me 1 second. I'm sorry. This is it's just crazy.
It's live. It's live. Live. I don't want to say live radio or live television or internet vision, whatever you want to call it. It's live talk verse vision. So
It's technical difficulties.
I mean, is it really though? Because that's always a good thing to use for every issue. But this,
You know what? I'm gonna be honest.
they're hitting the link right now.
Okay.
GFM is hitting the link. You want me to bring them on, or you want to introduce them first? Or?
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please welcome the GFM band to NC17. Oh,
Hi.
hello. How you guys doing today?
Good.
That's good. Yeah. First, I want to thank you for accepting the invitation to be on the show. You know, you guys. I can tell you, you're a big hit in my household. My wife and I have been listening to your music nonstop for like the last month and a half. So,
Oh my goodness.
oh yeah. Uh, so let's get started. At what ages did you guys decide that you wanted to be in the music industry?
It was really, really young. We started playing instruments and stuff when each of us turned 5, and we did our first like talent show type thing when I think I was 11, CJ was 12, and Lou was 7. And we did that talent show, and then we got invited to play a show up in Atlanta, and it was on spring break, so it was the first time we were able to actually travel for a show. And after that, like driving home, we told our parents, we're like, we want to do this for the rest of our life. And they're like, what do you mean? You're kids, you don't know what you want to do. And we're like, no, that's what we want to do.
Yeah. How did you guys decide which instruments you wanted to play?
Um, we kind of just got them thrown at us, I think. We, for some reason, all picked like random ones because like, oh, guitar's already picked, so I'm gonna just do drums. And Maggie was doing piano, and then they're like, yeah, you can do bass. And so it was kind of a just, I don't know, we none of us really know how or why we all picked the instruments we did. And then Maggie just got the bass, was kind of like, hey, we need a bass player. So she played
Uh,
bass.
oh yeah. Uh, you guys coined the phrase beauty core. Can you go into that a little bit?
Yeah, so when we really finalized like what our sound was, we didn't feel like we had a place to belong in like the genre identification of bands and stuff. And we would tell people that we were a metal band. They're like, no, you're not. And but we weren't a metalcore band, and we weren't a hard rock band, and we weren't even a rock band. And so we had all of these things where people were like, no, you're not this, you're not this. And so we're like, you know what, as a joke, let's just make our own genre. Like, we'll just call ourselves beautycore. We're girls, we wear dresses and stuff on stage, like. And it was just a joke for a few years, and the more and more people that heard it, the more people that were excited about it, and like, this is a super cool thing, like it's really cool, you don't understand how cool that was. And so we started putting it on t-shirts, and and like actually talking about it and making it like a real genre identification for ourselves. And now it's helped a lot of girls feel comfortable being in the rock industry, and it's kind of become that thing where it's like, yeah, girls can play rock music, and you're allowed to do the screaming music, you're allowed to do the heavy stuff, and it's fine. Like, it's a place where you can belong as well. And in such a male dominated industry, I think it just helps bring that ease of, okay, there's other girls doing this, so I can do this too.
Yeah, makes sense. Do you guys have when you were growing, like younger and stuff? Did you guys have any idols or?
Um, we had a very like we would find people, but since we were so young, it was like, okay, we like this person for a second. Oh, but now it's this person. Oh, but now it's this person. Oh, but now. So it was always changing. And I think for a long time, a big inspiration of ours was the band Skillet, because when we started playing music, we started just learning covers of their songs to learn how to play rock music and how to do this band thing. And so for a long time, it was, okay, we're going to go to their concerts, we're going to study them, we're going to learn all of their music, because they're doing what we want to do. And how did they do that? How are they still doing it? And I think for a long time they were a big inspiration on us. And um even now, when people ask, like, on our live streams and stuff, they're like, would you ever go on tour with Skillet or this band? And we're like, we're always like, oh, I think we'd have to pick Skillet just for like just for it to become full circle, because the nostalgia that comes with it. And they were the reason we decided to do a lot of the things that we do live and musically. And so there's just that connection from when we were that young, just like clinging to that band as like, okay, this is something that you can actually do.
Uh, do you guys have a specific favorite moment you've had so far, or just in general?
I would say one of the coolest moments. I don't know if like picking a favorite is so hard because we've done it for so long that it's like every birthday we've had like on tours and stuff. So I think one of the coolest moments though we went on tour with Fozzy this past spring, and I turned 18 on that tour. And Chris Jericho came out and surprised me with a cake and balloons, and the whole band of Fozzy sang me happy birthday, and everyone on the tour actually came out and sang me happy birthday. And it was really cool because it was like, man, you come out on tours and you don't expect anything, and you like, you expect to miss stuff, you expect to miss birthdays. It's just kind of part of tour life. And so it was really cool to have that, like, someone like Chris Jericho make it a big deal. I was like, oh, this is really sweet.
Yeah, I listen to Fozzy too, and when I saw you guys were on tour with them, I was like, that's pretty cool, you know. How did you guys come up with your names for your band?
So that was actually a mom thing. And we were really little when we started this, and so we always were like, I don't even know what names we threw out back then, because we were children, and so I already know like the names were probably so dumb. And so our parents were like, we can't name it that. And our mom actually came up with the idea, because she's like, why don't we call it Gold Frankincense Myrrh, because those were the 3 gifts given to Jesus, and you guys are 3 gifts given to me. And we can use that as a way to start that conversation and tell people about your faith and your Christianity. And once we started getting a little more traction, it was difficult to figure out how to fit Gold Frankincense Myrrh on a t-shirt and make it look right. And radio stations had a hard time saying it, and so we just shortened it to GFM, but the full name is still it still stands for Gold Frankincense Myrrh. And it's still a great gateway for us to open up that conversation, because especially now that we're playing a lot of general market shows, people don't know what it means. They just think we're talking about essential oils and stuff. And so it's an easy gateway for us to be like, okay, well, yeah, they're essential oils, but this is what it actually means to us. This is what our faith is. And so it's a great segue into that conversation.
Oh yeah. You guys seem to be all about your fans, which is a welcoming relief, because there's a lot of people out there that's not. What do your fans mean to you guys?
I think growing up, being so young and in the industry with how young we were, it kind of started of just having like friends, because we obviously were so young and got into this, and we were homeschooled, so we didn't really have friends. We just toured, and we made friends with anyone we met on tour, whether they're in the band or in the crowd. Like, we just enjoyed talking to people and having the same interests as people. And we figured out soon enough that everyone that was starting to like our band and commenting and showing up to lives and stuff, we like knew them on a first name basis. And it was like, oh, like, hey, what's up? Like, what are you doing today? Like, how's your work? How's your job? And I think it was just such a tight knit foundation that we had with our community. And I think that as we grew, it wasn't like, oh, our fans are coming. They were like genuinely proud of us and genuinely like so happy for us when we announced the Fozzy tour. We had so many people just like, I'm so happy for you, so proud of you, and like I'm gonna make the drive, whether like no matter how long it is, to come see this, because I've been here since the beginning. And they've always been so loyal to us and committed to us. And no matter what we did, like if we changed music sounds, or like we love to experiment with different songs. So like whether we changed song like sounds, or we changed like cheerleading outfits, like we went from wearing not the cheerleading outfits to the cheer outfits, and some of our fans were there for that change. And we've had people who show up to every single live that we do, and it's just like the commitment and loyalty of, it's like we're all just friends hanging out, and we're all just buddies. And so when people come to our shows, it's like, you'll see the bands that have people backstage like, oh, that's my friend. It's like, all my friends are in front of the stage. Like,
There'll be a lot of people to have backstage.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's been cool to invite everyone in. And like you said, it's not normal, because so many people just do view it as like a fan, like this person's just coming to watch me and then we go home. But we've made it a point to try to be connected with them, because it is the reason why you get to do your job. Like, if no one showed up, you wouldn't have a job. And so we just always wanted to give back and thank them, because it's why we made it as far as we have.
Yeah, that's good. Your guys' design of clothing and stuff, do you guys do that, or do you have somebody else who does that?
So we have a lot of the like design input that comes with it. We want to make sure we pick the colors and we pick how it's going to look, but we're actually sponsored by a real cheerleader outfit company, and so they're making them for high school teams and college teams, and they'll make them for GFM now. And so we make like the order process and everything, and we have our own rep, and so we're able to call her and talk her through the process of what we want the new outfits to look like.
Yeah. And then even for our merch designs, we have a lot of people that, again, we don't like to do things the cookie cutter way. And so it's like, if you have one designer, like, why don't you just stick with them? And it's like, what if we find something even better? So it's like, we just kind of give everyone a chance. And we definitely have searched out for smaller designers and smaller companies, because we were given a chance. So we want to give other people a chance. And we don't just want to go to like the high end like companies that already have a million different people buying from them. So we want to go to the people who want to get into the music and want to have that experience of designing. And we've gotten some of our favorite designs from people who are just starting up and just getting into graphic design, and even younger like college students trying to just get their foot in the doorway. It's really cool to see their ideas, and it's like, oh my word. And then we get so many compliments, and we're like, this is why, like, these people are so creative. They just haven't been given a chance to show that.
Do you guys have a personal favorite song that you've done? Or I know it's your whole catalog, so I mean that's probably a redundant question, but
I think it definitely it changes with every new release, because we're like, oh well, this was my favorite song, and then we write new music and they're like, this is way better than that song. And so now it's easier to kind of figure out what our favorite song live is, because there is so much backstory that goes into writing songs, and there are our personal experiences, or the personal experiences of people in our life, or Team GFM who have told us their stories and given us permission to write about them. And so there's so much that goes into each song and its recording that it's difficult to pick one song that way, because a lot of it's the story that comes with it. But so we've realized it's easier live to, okay, which song do we like performing the best? And I think right now mine is definitely Honest Abe, and we recently added that into the set, and it's our new like opener, and so we have a new intro that comes with it, and there's just so much energy. And it's really cool to see people are learning it now, because it's been out for a few months now, and so they're starting to know the words, and just seeing like their faces like, oh my goodness, I know this one. Like, it's super cool.
Do you guys have any plans of coming to Michigan?
Yeah, we actually have a sold out show in Flint, Michigan, on this Fozzy tour. And so we're super excited to play that, because it's at the Machine Shop. So it's a super iconic venue here in the US. And we played it already once this year, and it was a really packed out venue. And we're like, wait, it's not sold out? And they're like, no, it's not sold out. But the show you're about to play with Fozzy, it's already 3/4 of the way sold out. So that one has a good chance of selling out. We're like, oh, okay. And literally like a few weeks later it was sold out, and I think it's only the third sold out show we've ever played before. So it's always exciting when you play stuff like that, because it's like, oh my goodness, wait, all these people are coming to see this tour that we're on, and like we're part of that package, so they want to see us too. Like, this is crazy. Like, there's all these people are just coming to a show. That is super cool.
So being in the limelight, do you guys still have time to just go out and do normal things and stuff like that?
I think a lot of the time we are either resting at the house, like coming off of a tour, or just being like super busy with the work that we have. We like to just kind of chill and vibe out, especially because like this year we've had more shows than we've ever played like any other year already, and we still have a tour left. So this year we've kind of spent more realizing that like balance is key, and resting and coming home, like it's okay to just kind of sit there and do nothing, because you're about to go out for another month and a half. But we definitely, like, even now we've gone out to the Halloween stores that are popping up, and we like to just kind of do smaller, like we've always done it, even without the band, we've always done smaller, like little things instead of doing like one big trip. And so we'll like take trips to like a water park, or trips to like go look at all the Halloween stores that popped up, or like, hey, does anyone want to go for like slushy runs? And like those things are what's special to us. And we are very much so homebodies. Like when we're home, we are home. So we've spent a lot of our time just kind of hanging out, either alone or together. And it's something that definitely helps because you gotta rest up before you go on another long tour.
Okay. You guys, I mean, everyone who does whatever they do that they love wants longevity. You guys want this for the rest of your lives, right?
Yeah, it's something that we've always really loved, just not even just with the music thing, but just as performers and entertainers as well. And we're starting to really dive into all aspects of it. And there's things like Twitch streaming that we're diving into, and having that online presence as well, which is super cool, especially with TikTok and how involved people are there. We're really growing our audience that way. So if something like COVID happens again, we could easily just transport it onto like our social presence and have it be an online thing, which is what we did the last time. We did like an online tour where we would just overtake like our sponsors companies or like festivals that we've played or venues or radio stations. They would give us access to their Facebook page or their Instagram page, and we would go live and play a show, like an acoustic show. And it was like an acoustic e-tour that we did, and it was super cool to see everybody show up and be like, oh my goodness, I've made it to all the shows. And it was something special because nobody could go to shows, and so we wanted it to be a thing where you didn't have to pay for this really expensive live stream, and it was just definitely, it was like an actual show. And it was we were talking to people, and we made sure that we tried to change up the set list every time. And there might have been a couple repeats every once in a while because we did a ton of shows. I think there was like 23.
It was one of our longest tours.
And like it was literally, it was nuts. And we had like 2 or 3 shows sometimes every day. And so I think being able to dive into that is going to help us a lot as well, just because there's so much that you can do with social media. And yes, there's definitely a lot of cons that come with it. And even the people that created the social media pages are like speaking out now and saying that it's turned into something that they never expected or wanted it to. But I think you can also utilize it and focus on the positive sides of it. And that's why we try to focus on the interaction aspect and making sure we're available for people if they need to talk to somebody.
And also showing them real life as well. We used to be stuck in we have to always have makeup on and always have our like cheerleading outfits on and always like make sure we look like the best and everything. And it's like people just want to see you being you. Like no one cares if you're in your cheerleading outfit or if you're at a gas station at 3 a.m. Like if they get to see you, they get to see you. And it's something that we also try to just kind of promote as like, hey, we're literally real humans. Like what you see on stage, this is us off stage. Like this is what we look like at 2 a.m. when we are at a truck stop trying to get showers. And so it's something that we've also been able to implement into our lives, which definitely helps because there was less stress to like, oh, someone's like taking a picture and I don't have any of my gear on. Like, hey, what's up? So it's like, no, it's just like, hey, like we just woke up. What's up? Like, this is what we look like.
Oh yeah. Speaking of makeup and stuff, you guys, I've noticed in some of your videos, you guys got face paint on. Is there any semblance behind that, or is it just something you guys like to do?
So definitely with the stage performance, we like to have our like war paint and stuff like that to help us get into character. And so Luke kind of changes hers with every album release and just kind of figures out a new thing to do. Sita usually has a lot of glitter on. That's kind of her staple. And mine's a little barbed wire thing, which it's cool that people are now starting to do it because we've done it so much. And so people are coming up to the shows, matching me or Lou or CJ, and they're having that same war paint on. And it's definitely just to help us get into character and become that bigger than life person on stage. And it doesn't have, people always ask, does it have like this huge significant meaning? And it doesn't really have like a crazy meaning. It's just part of our costume. It's part of our character that we have for stage. And we're all pretty big introverts, and so it helps us have like it's kind of like a mask that we're putting on, so you can perform without worrying about oh, well, I'm kind of nervous to be on stage. I don't really want to talk to people. And it's like, no, this is like my big performance personality, and we're ready to be on stage, and we're bigger than life. And so I think that's just something that helps us get to that point.
Do you guys have aspirations of like going into other forms of entertainment like movies and books and stuff like that? Or
I think that would be super cool. And like Maggie said, it's kind of like ever since we were little, everything was our dream. Like we were like, you know what? Whatever we do, like that'd be amazing. That'd be sick. And so I think whether it was music, or we've even had people be like, would be like a cameo something you'd be interested in? And it's like, whether you want to use our music in a movie or us in a movie or both, it's like, I think we'd be super down for that.
Yeah.
And I think that even books, like Maggie's super into books, but we're also super into anime. So like having like mangas and just
Graphic
comics
novels.
and graphic novels and all of that, either being in one or having one just about us, would be super cool. And like voice acting is something that would be super cool. And I think that all of it, like people are like, oh, what are this? We're like, yeah, we'll do it. We'll do it. And it's something that is really cool that our parents brought us up in, is like, do it all. You are so young,
Yeah.
like do it all, and whatever you truly find a passion in, go into that. And so I think to turn it down, it would kind of be not following their advice of like, do it all, because who knows, like maybe you do this and it's something that you absolutely love and it takes off. And so I think it would definitely be cool to be in books or movies or any of that, either as our GFM like persona, or as us like acting in one or voice acting in one, or even like part writing. I don't know if books do like co-writes where you like write a few parts, but I think that would be cool too.
We got about 8 minutes left. Is there anything you guys would like to promote or say to your fans that are watching?
Well, we definitely are about to go on tour, like we've been saying. I think we have about 2 weeks right now. It starts in September. So if you want to come check us out, all of our tour dates on our website at thegfmband.com. You can get your tickets. There are a lot of shows that are selling out or close to being sold out. So if we're coming to a city near you, make sure you get your ticket, because we don't want you to be like, it's all sold out. We're like, oh no. So definitely come check and make sure if we're coming to a city near you, or literally your city, because this Fozzy tour is hitting a lot of East Coast cities. So make sure you check that out. And like Meg said, we do lives, we do Twitch streams. Everything is the GFM Band. So if you want to catch one of those on probably any social media you use, there's probably one of us that we do a live on. So just make sure you check that out and come hang out with us, make some friends. We have a Discord where everyone just hangs out and talks with each other. So if you need a place to just have some friends and you want to hang out that like music or anime or anything like pop culture wise, check that out as well. And everything's the GFM Band, so you can find it all there.
And like Lou was saying, we all run our these social media page personally as well. And it's not some big management company that's running the GFM page. It's all us. And we do that because we want to make sure we're available for people to talk to. And if you need somebody to just vent to, or if you need advice, or if you just want a friend, like we're available to talk. And that's why we run the pages, so we can make sure that it's a one-on-one connection and it's not you talking to this big corporation. And that's kind of the whole goal of GFM, is to be that safe place for people. So if you ever need somebody to talk to or reach out to, definitely feel free to reach out to us. And like she said, everything's the GFM Band, so it's super easy to find us.
All right. I actually had one fan ask me to ask you guys a question, and I didn't want to ask it, but I'm gonna ask it anyway. So they said, if you were like there was a movie made about you, who would you want to play you if you guys couldn't play yourselves?
Oh my goodness, we got asked this one time, and I had no idea who would play me.
You know what I think would be really funny is if they made a movie about us, but instead used guy actors, but still had all the things that happened to like us girls. Because I found that someone did that recently, and it was like this like brought to life how not normal it is, because it happening to a guy is like, wait, what? But like it happened to a girl, we're like used to. I think it'd be funny if we had like Jack Black playing CJ, Adam Sandler playing you, and then like who played the voice of Pikachu? Ryan Reynolds playing me, and like have those three guys be like us, but then have everything that's happened to us, like female wise, like everything that people have either said or like used against us happen to them, and people be like, what? Like, do you know how funny that would be? It would be such like a contrast, and like the humor between those three people would be immaculate.
That's true.
Hey, I'd watch it. I actually have one last question. Your sound is very authentic. So how'd you come up with it?
I think it was just years of experimenting, and it helps because all three of us are usually involved in some sort of writing aspect, whether it's just bringing ideas or being in the writing session. And then we also bring an outside writer almost on all songs, just so we can make sure each song has something a little different about it. And I think just having so many voices and opinions, figuring out what it needs to sound like has helped that a lot, because it's, you know, not just one person writing everything. It's several people coming together with different musical interests and, you know, different stories they want to tell. And when you throw that all together, I think it just becomes this mashup of a bunch of different genres and everybody's creativity, which is super cool.
All right. With that, I'm gonna say check GFM out on Facebook, which my wife does every day. On Spotify, which me and my wife do every day. You know, but no, it's I thank you for joining the show. And as I tell all my guests, NC-17 is always open. You can always come on, promote, even if you want to say you got a booger in your nose, you can do that too.
Well, we really appreciate you giving us the time of day to talk. It's always great to be, you know, have a platform, especially in areas that we've never spoken before. So,
All right. Thank you. With that, you guys be good, have fun, and keep rocking.
thank you.
All right. Bye-bye.